I would do a quick stream. Been in the middle of a lot of work. A lot of people have said they've liked the shirt. I posted where my campaign signage was starting to come in. Ordered some more today. Working on a lot of campaign stuff this weekend. Got my other people got a little black book. I've got a big black book for my to-dos and my scheduling for 2022. I ain't kidding. I could bop somebody over the head with this. But I was at the Hawaii convention today, not actually in Hawaii. People, I think, thought I was actually there. I'm a heathen. I'm unvaccinated. And hello, cowboy. And for those, there's a chat here. I know some rando is going to be listening to this video going, well, hello there too, cowgirl. I need to take a sip of water here. It's not water, excuse me, of Diet Dew. Yeah, so I was attending virtually. I'm a heathen who's unvaccinated, so I'm not allowed in the state of Hawaii. Welcome to America. But in watching, and hello, Alex. Hey there. Yeah, I have a couple streams I need to get in. And we will be talking tomorrow. So I was at the Hawaii stream and their live stream for their convention, and something very interesting got said by Tara DeSisto. And I was somewhat taken aback, and perhaps I misunderstood her. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt, but I don't think I did, because I've had plenty of conversations with her. And she did hedge her bets enough to have some plausible deniability. But what Tara seemed to say, well, Tara, first of all, needs to stay out of internal party politics. You would think she would have learned her lesson. So she takes a very low-key swipe at the Mises Caucus. Tara, you need to stay out of internal party politics. Staff is not allowed to do that, but of course the SLNC isn't enforcing that, at least as far as I know. So the low-key swipe she takes, and then she continues on with a very startling statement about messaging. I'd love to hear your opinions. That's what the chat is for. So the low-key swipe is, she said, there are some people in this party, I wonder who these some people are, who seem to think that the party, and I don't know when she said the party, if she's referring just to the National Party, which would be the most restrictive way to understand what she said, or whether she meant even state parties. I don't know. Let's assume the safest assumption here, which is that she meant the National Party. And she said, some people think that the party needs to have bolder and stronger messaging. Well, I wonder who that is. These some people, that people who are getting paid on my dime and your dime. I wonder who these is that she thinks that she gets to make a public statement about. She's not elected, and she seems to forget that. So some people seem to think that the National Party needs stronger and bolder messaging. Who are these some people? I'm one of these some people, Tara, and I help pay your salary. And at first I thought she was going to go to what she said to me in Utah. What she said to me in Utah is, we can't message like that because the donors don't like it. So it's pay to play on what is our libertarian principle. But that isn't where she went. I thought that's where she was going. But instead, she did a different route, which was even more surprising to me. And again, I didn't have this recorded, so I couldn't listen to it a second time. And I'm going to say right up front, if someone has the exact text of what she said, and I'm misunderstanding somebody or something, let me know. But I don't think so. Because when I saw she was getting up to talk, I was going to listen very carefully, because I have not been too pleased with her performance lately. And she was right after Chris Lucchini, another person whose performance has, frankly, not been good. So I was paying real close attention. And Apollo talked, whose performance I'm perfectly happy with. Apollo is a gem. I have no issue with Apollo. So she said, there's a gnat flying around here. And I almost went like that really hard with my broken arm. That would have broken elbow, actually, it is. I can't straighten it. That's about as straight as it goes. And then I can hyperextend. So she says to this audience, contrary to that, the party shouldn't really be messaging at all. It's our candidates that do our messaging. Since when, Tara DeSisto? And did you get that marching order from the LNC? You certainly did it when I was recognized as being on the LNC. I still am. I don't care what the LNC says because the delegates decide that. And I've been paying very close attention to them after they illegitimately threw me off. And I haven't heard those marching orders. Did you get those from the party chair? Perhaps you did. But the LNC wasn't informed of that. Since when have we changed from the party itself doesn't do messaging to the candidates are in charge of our messaging? Since when, Tara DeSisto? Who gave you the authority to say that? Did the delegates at convention? They most certainly did not. Unlike the Republican Party, the candidates are not our messengers or our only messengers. You see what happened with Trump. Trump's basically the king of the Republican Party. They get a presidential candidate, and that's their spokesperson for until they get another presidential candidate. That's not the way the Libertarian Party works, Tara. Now, our candidates do messaging. So rather than it being, is it the National Party or is it the candidates? I would say it's both. But who's in charge? It's not the candidates, Tara. It is the delegates at convention giving marching orders through our platform, resolutions, and instructions they give to the National Party. In between conventions, it's the National Party through the LNC, whether we like them or not. And as far as I know, there's been no explicit instructions that gave you the authority to say such a thing, Tara. That is not the Libertarian Party way. That might be what you prefer, but that's not what I prefer. And that is not instructions that the LNC has given you. And if the party chair has given that to you, I would like to know. And I'm sure the rest of the LNC would like to know, because I don't think the LNC agrees with that. The candidates do not rule our messaging. And I know why you like that, because there's a lot of moderate candidates and you want moderate messaging. There's a lot of radical candidates too. We have candidates from all spectrums. But the candidates do not control our messaging. We control the candidates' messaging. We are an ideological party, not a wherever money party, not a whichever the wind blows party. And I want to know where you got off saying something like that. You are way too big for your britches. And you have been for a real long time. And somebody needs to reel your ass in. And I don't know why this LNC is scared to do so. I know why they don't say so publicly. It's untoward for somebody who's recognized by the LNC as being on the LNC to speak out against staff. They have their protocols. I don't know if they're following those protocols. If they are, nothing is getting done. I don't care how much money somebody is raising. If they are going off script and saying things like that, and their reach is far exceeding, actually, how's it go? The expression, your grasp is far exceeding your reach is the expression. I want to know who gave you that authority, Tara. The LNC didn't. The delegates didn't. And I'm telling you, as a national life member, you are wrong. The candidates are not our messengers. Let me reword that. The candidates are not our only messengers. The party has to have messaging. And yes, Tara, it does have to have strong, bold messaging. That does not mean asshole. It does not mean obnoxious for the sake of being obnoxious, but it does mean libertarian for the sake of being libertarian. And there are certain soccer moms in Peoria who will find that asshole-ish and obnoxious, but we don't do it for the sake of being asshole-ish and obnoxious, though inevitably some people will find it that way. Because let me give you an example from New Hampshire. We believe in abolishing child labor laws. I'm sorry you don't like that. For most of this country, that's how young people got their training. No, that does not condone child abuse. But it was part of our platform for 30 years of this party, and the statement of principles hasn't changed. If that was consistent with the statement of principles when this party was founded, it's still consistent with the statement of principles today, even if too many libertarians would rather piss their pants rather than say an actually libertarian thing, including our development director. Yes, we want to legalize heroin. Or you don't like that. No, I'm not saying you don't like that. If you have a problem with that, maybe you're in the wrong party. Rather than saying if you don't think recall petitions are aggression, you're in the wrong party, like you told a 5-figure donor, or like you told a 5-figure donor if they're not actively anti-racist or whatever the blood oath is today. Yes, Libertarian JRT, she is actually registered as a libertarian. The more we have wishy-washy representatives like this, the more I am determined to expand my own personal platform to say things that horrify all the right people. And if that means going around saying legalize recreational heroin, that's what I will do. Because I am tired of the milquetoast panty waist pap that passes for libertarian messaging today, where we're scared to say actual libertarian things. We'll say things that are on the index card, as Tom Woods would say, of respectability, or just barely on the edge of it. But dare we push the envelope? No. Well, let me tell you, those of you who don't think we need to push the envelope, you're looking at your worst nightmare. Because I'm an attention whore, and I will get attention for pushing that fucking envelope. So Tara, get back in your lane. The candidates are not our primary messengers or our only messengers. Run that by the LNC. Okay, is there anything else anyone else wants to talk about? I've got a few other things. I hope that was kind of like my opening monologue. I'm becoming a real host. Go take a look at my Facebook page or my Twitter feed. My campaign signage has come in. I love it. There is a drawing, cartoon drawing, I guess you call it, from Top Lobster that I'm using because he's so talented. And also Spencer has done some of my designs, and so has Fina from Hawaii. I'm drawing from a bunch of different sources. The cover image on my public figure page, that was done by Fina. The banner that I'm using at my tables, that was done by Spencer. So it's all coming together. Tonight, I started writing out some of my campaign promises. I'm going to be sending out an email to my campaign team that I want them to collaborate with me on things that they would like to see me promise, expectations they have of me, because I am member. So that will be going out soon as well. We're starting to develop a lot of the campaign literature and campaign buttons. If you have ideas for campaign literature, campaign slogans, campaign graphics, send them to me, because I'm in full campaign mode now. Next weekend, I'm on a plane to Arizona, and that kicks off convention season for me. And that leads to my grifting. In order to send myself and my campaign manager, DL Cummings, to as many as conventions as possible, I need funding. I am completely transparent on how all of my campaign funding gets spent. If you're a donor, I will send you my spreadsheet, which has a line-by-line accounting, also with supporting receipts. This weekend, DL is going to Georgia for me. So as we're looking ahead in the calendars, we're going to try to go to as many conventions as possible. He can't go to very many, but he'll go to some. And I'm going to as many as possible. A lot of weekends, I'm going to 2 conventions in one weekend. I'll be working my tail off for you to give you a principled radical voice back on the LNC, and to be working for you and for the goals that you have for this party. I don't work for the big donors. I don't take my marching orders by what's popular by someone who thinks that they're writing a check gets to determine what libertarian ideology is. What I do, I take my marching orders from you, whether you've given a dime or not. If you're a member of this party, if you're a libertarian member of this party, I work for you. And if you happen to be a donor, I'm very grateful for that. And I'm talking to the National Party. If you're a donor to my campaign, I'm also very grateful for that as well. But I'm talking about being a donor to the National Party. You don't have to give a dime to be important and to have a voice. Have you signed the non-aggression pledge and become a national member, even if you're not a dues payer? Then I work for you. Now, I want to tell you another very interesting speaker. Maybe I can look it up on the screen here. I heard him in Arizona last year. He's now in Hawaii. He's a libertarian attorney who runs a libertarian law firm. I don't know if my screen just froze because it froze on my end. So hopefully it's still working. Yeah, it froze. Let me see. Okay, here we go. I did freeze there for a second. That was weird. He has a libertarian law firm in Hawaii. This movement, it's not capital L libertarian, but it's libertarian principles. And I'm pulling up his website because I joined it today. And it's liveandletlive.org. It's kind of like the Zero Aggression Project, which it kind of reminds me of. But go check out his website, and he's got a real cool video there. It's called liveandletlive.org, and it's a cool messaging thing. And it has messaging that I really agree with. And it's the antidote to wokeism, while still not saying we're embracing, yay, you're a hero of libertarianism if you put up a, no black sign allowed at your establishment, that makes you some kind of freedom hero. No, it doesn't. It makes you a racist asshole. However, you're allowed to be a racist asshole in Libertopia. We don't have to like you, and I won't like you. But we've lost our way there. We've lost our way there. We've lost the fact that freedom means that people will do things that you don't like, including being racist assholes. That doesn't mean you need to associate with them. So what this guy presented, and I hate saying this guy, but I forgot his name. I'm going to see if his name is easily accessible here. Mark Victor, that's his name. So what he said is the Live and Let Live movement has 2 principles. The first one is live, which means you are the absolute dictator of your own life, that you get to do what you want, as long as you don't commit aggression against others. And that's what the let live portion is. You don't commit aggression against others, and they get to be the absolute dictator of their life. Those are what he calls the legal principles of the movement. But he says they also have aspirational principles. The legal principles are not optional. Your right to live and your obligation to let live, those are non-negotiable. The aspirational principles are suggestions for a more fulfilling and rewarding life and more conducive and flourishing world. And those aspirational principles are things like don't be an asshole, don't be a racist. But he would like you to accept those aspirational principles, but you are free to reject them. And he said that. You could say, no thanks. And I really do think this is the type of messaging we need to have. where we do call people to their better selves. And I do talks all over the country on this. I do a talk called The Humanitarian Responsibility of Freedom, which is about that if we want to be complete human beings, that there is a moral component to our lives that isn't dictated by our politics. Politics really can't dictate our morality. That's what your God, your church, and your community is for. Your political party is not there to force you not to be a racist. That's not the business of your political party. Your political party is there to secure your rights. Your church, your community, your morals, your God or lack thereof, those are what's there to guide your morals that would tell you not to be a racist asshole. Your political party should not be your church. And that's what the woke are trying to turn into, the church of libertarianism, and trying to attach things to a political philosophy that have no place being there. Because whether you like it or not, if a racist asshole is not infringing upon anyone's rights, they are behaving in a perfectly libertarian manner, because it is possible, because libertarian dystopia is possible, and libertarian assholes exist. I mean, actual ones, not the jokey ones like we do, where I call Dave Casey an asshole. I mean that lovingly. And we need to get back to actually saying libertarian things. And that's an actual libertarian thing. Dennis Pratt, I am going to be at the LPNH convention, as you know. I will be the parliamentarian there, which I am sure Nick Sarwark is going to be a huge fan of, but he can't object because I'm actually credentialed now. I'm official. Well, I haven't gotten the little certificate yet, but I've already confirmed with the National Association of Parliamentarians that I've passed the test. Here's to me. So I am actually voluntarily certified, which is completely libertarian, to be a practicing parliamentarian. Just like in my legal assisting, paralegal, it used to be called legal assistant. Now secretaries are called legal assistants. But in my paralegal profession, I have a voluntary certification, not required by the state, through the National Association of Legal Assistants. Very libertarian. Oh, and it turns out he's going to have a book coming out called Live and Let Live. I probably will pre-order that. But anyway, check out that site, liveandletlive.org. I was very impressed by what he said. I really liked the type of messaging that he did, and I'm going to start to adopt that kind of messaging for myself as well. It was very simple. So, yeah. I'm very much looking forward to being in New Hampshire, and I wish things hadn't worked out where I got thrown off, but you know, that's what happens, and we'll see if I get vindicated in Reno. But whether I get vindicated in Reno or not, I have zero regrets about what I did for New Hampshire, and I would do it again. If I hold a position so dear that I wouldn't lose it to do the right thing, then I'm not worthy to have that position. Sometimes you have to lose the position to prove you are worthy of it. And I'm glad that when the rubber hit the road, I did the right thing. Because I'd be lying to you if I didn't say I wasn't tempted to cave. I'm human like everybody else. I don't like being publicly shamed by the National Party in front of the whole world. I don't like being publicly removed and having that now permanently on my record, but I did the right thing. And I'm proud of myself for doing the right thing. And I was tempted. I was tempted to shut up. I was tempted to cave. I was tempted to grovel before those fucking bastards, but I didn't do it. So when the time of testing came, I passed. Painful experience, but I'd do it all over again. And unfortunately, right now in this party, and I hope this changes, but right now in this party, I think people who are willing to do that is rare, and it shouldn't be. And I don't know if I would do this. And am I kind of shaming some of the people who are still currently on the LNC? Yeah, I am. It's easy to say what you would do, but I think now with how I've proven myself, I do think I'm a pretty good judge now of what I would do. And if this were somebody else that got removed the way I did, and I were still on the LNC, I wouldn't just carry on as if nothing happened like they are. Yeah, I have friends on the LNC. There's 6 of them that I think are great. But do I think they're being a little cowardly by not bringing up what happened over and over and over and over again and never letting them forget it? Yeah, there's only one person who keeps reminding them, and that is Joshua Smith. And what are they doing to Joshua now? They moved to censor him. And I've seen no outrage on the LNC list about this. I'm sorry, even with the good ones, there's some lack of backbone. Why aren't they outraged over now this move to punish Joshua? Joshua's been the only one who's been completely outspoken to the LNC itself about what happened to me. And I could tell you if I was still there, and I probably would get removed for defending the person who got removed. I wouldn't just move on like they have. How can you just move on when the organization you're part of is corrupt? I wouldn't recognize, and I know this would be difficult to do because he's a nice guy, but I would refuse to recognize John Wilford as secretary because he's not. He's not. And those 5 members should refuse to recognize him. But they won't do that. I can tell you for a fact, if I were there, I would do that. If I were there, I would do that. But that's me, I guess. And I would have probably have gotten removed for that. But I'd never let them forget it. You can't just keep going like it didn't happen. You're not doing a service to the organization. And it is a betrayal of the fact of what happened to me. So people wonder why I'm so loyal to Joshua. That's why I'm loyal to Joshua. Because he's the only one who waits for the opportunity and he brings it up. I wish he would bring it up more, to be honest with you, but he brings it up and the others don't. And that's just a fact. And I love them to death. I love them to death. They're my good friends. I would be different. If one of them got removed, I would constantly be shoving the other 11 members' face in it. Because I'm an intensely loyal person and intensely indignant person to wrongdoing. It's just like I continually remind the LNC that they fucked up when it came to Oregon. Like, I haven't forgotten what happened with Oregon, and that was however many years ago, because they never got an apology and they deserved it. But anyway, que sera, sera. Reno is coming soon. I can't dictate to other people their conscience. I need to respect their conscience. I need to respect their decisions. I could just tell you, I would be different. I would be different. I would never let them forget it. They abrogated the will of the delegates, and 3 of them that did it. Is it 3? Epke, Longstreth. Who's the other? And Sarwark. None of them even got a majority vote from the delegates. Okay, what else do we want to talk about? What else do we want to talk about tonight? Oh, yes. So we'll just end with my typical grifting. I would appreciate any support of my campaign. All super chats matter. Any super chats given in any of my streams go directly to my campaign, and you will see that accounting on my campaign spreadsheet if you're a donor. you have the right to request that. So now I'm going to go through my big black book and start penciling in the dates. So far this month, I will be in New Hampshire and I will be in Arizona, and D.L. Cummings will be in Georgia. And I think that might be it. You guys let me know if you have anything else. Oh, Fidalgo Files. Did some dude try to seduce me on Facebook? Yeah, it happens a lot. All women get that a lot. I think even the men get that a lot, actually. I don't think they pay too much attention to the gender or the professed gender or whatever you want to say. On it. Yeah. I normally don't even block those people, but I had enough. It kept like bit pinging my phone, and I'm like, I'm busy, dude. I don't need to keep getting a notification with hello, hello, hello. Yeah, no, goodbye. Let's just check messages while I'm doing this and seeing if anyone else has any comments. Twitter's been on fire. All righty. And I think that will be it then. And I might do some whatchamacallit, pre-recorded videos later this evening. And there's somebody who's just super obsessed. Mr. LP Mises Caucus or GOP plants, you do realize that ground got overturned by the JC, don't you? Sorry, but it doesn't matter. I will continue to ask for money because that is capitalism, and that is not against our policies, and that is anti-povertarian bigotry because certain people want only affluent people to serve on the LNC. I want people who can't afford to go traveling all over the place to serve on the LNC. I want everyone who's qualified. So yes, I will continue to proudly ask for money because I am a capitalist and I am not rich. So since it's annoying all the right people, and I love the Mises Caucus or GOP plants because what I say is the GOP's gotten a lot cooler. I'm joking. Because if the message now, because I'm allegedly a GOP plant now, is legalize recreational heroin, the GOP has changed a lot. When I push that the LP's next big issue should be polygamous marriage, the GOP has changed a lot. Dude, I really, really have a piece of advice for you. I know that having your head up your own ass that long has probably made you comfortable in that position, but huffing your own farts makes you say really stupid shit. Makes you say really, really stupid shit. And the reason why I'm encouraging you is because you're boosting my algorithm with your comments, which makes me more money. Please keep commenting because the algorithm loves it and I get more ad revenue the more comments I get. So please keep going. That's why I haven't ever booted you from my chats. The haters boost they boost the algorithm. You know, I was thinking the other day because like I don't mind intelligent like criticism because there is some. I'm not perfect. But the trolls, I was like, I think I'm going to start removing the trolls until I went and looked at the analytics panel of my YouTube channel. And I'm like, damn, the trolls are making me money. Ka-ching. I love it. I'm going to work that poll, baby. Yes, please do. Actually, if you tell me to go fuck myself, I actually think that's funny. Let me tell you guys a story. When Oregon was happening, because to me, that's almost like a term of endearment. When Oregon was happening, I was getting into it with Wes Wagner. See, everyone always thought like I was completely on the Wes Wagner train. Like I thought that one faction was completely right and the other faction was completely wrong. No, that has never been my position on the Oregon thing. Why did I eventually side on the side of Wes Wagner? Because the Libertarians of Oregon voted and sided on the side of Wes Wagner. And I am with the Libertarians of Oregon. But when I told Wes Wagner that I thought he pulled some dirty tricks too, this is on IPR. This is when I fell in love with Wes Wagner. He said, Karen Ann Harlos, you can just go fuck yourself. And ever since then, I loved him. I loved him because to me, that was funny. And I laughed so hard. And ever since he told me to go fuck myself, we became best friends. And I just adore Wes Wagner. So this could be the start of a beautiful friendship, Mr. Troll, because I actually find that very amusing. You haven't really bonded with somebody until they told you to go fuck yourself. I'm weird. I know. Jean, you are the new chair of Riverside County again. Congratulations. Or should it be congratulations? I don't know if you got voluntold or if this is something you actually wanted, but I love seeing good people. Yep, I hate the federal and the Fed, baby. I love seeing good people in positions. So, congratulations, and Jean. I'm very happy to see that. And I will be in California for the convention. Only Sunday though. I'm in Virginia on Saturday, and I will be end it, not just audit it. What's auditing it going to do? End it, kill it in a fire. You know, like it needs to just die screaming for its mama in a fire. End the Fed. End the Fed. Auditing it's a good first step to ending it, you know. But as the insane clown posse says, let's go all the way. Let's go all the way. Oh, yes. I am quoting ICP. Okay. I'm going to just see if there's any other comments because I do enjoy hanging out with you guys. And give it. Star Child wasn't reelected. I adore Star Child. I know some people don't. I do. I know he can be long-winded. I adore him. He's one of the best writers, I think, in the party. He writes so beautifully. So who was elected? He was chair of San Fran, right? Who got elected there? And did he run? Because I know Star Child doesn't even like to be in leadership positions. I would be curious who won and if he was running. I'm on the platform committee with Star Child right now. Wish me luck. I adore him. He doesn't give me a hard time. I can control a meeting. To me, that's the test of a good chair. But I'm interim platform committee chair right now. I am running for permanent platform committee chair. I don't know if I'm going to win. There are two. Well, it's originally Slyfox, but I like Insane Clown Posse's version. There are two very strong candidates running against me, so I don't know if I'm going to win platform committee chair or not. It's kind of a win-win for me, though. I'm not going to lie. I want to win platform committee chair, and if I don't, I will be terribly disappointed. However, it is still, though, if I'm looking at it effectively, a win-win. If I win and it's something I wanted and I got it, if I don't, that means I get to be a regular debating member of that committee. And my haters on that committee who think by not voting for me as chair, like they're doing themselves a favor, they have no idea what I'm like when I'm not chair. I've only ever been on the platform committee as chair. And that means I've been very unbiased, very even like not taking sides, making sure everybody, like I'm a very good chair. I don't care what anyone says, anyone who's observed, and there's a playlist of all my past meetings. I'm a very good chair. But these people don't want to see me as a debater on the platform committee, because that's not the same as chair. I take a side, and I am a strong debater. So it's a win-win. If I don't win chair, then I get to actually debate platform proposals, which I've never gotten to do on a national level. I'd rather be chair, though, because I enjoy it. But okay. Yeah, reserved. Mike's been on platform committee with me. He knows it's not my normal rambunctious self. I'm very, very, very different when I'm chairing. I take it very, very seriously. So, you know, the people out there are like, oh, you can't make her chair because we don't like her. You're going to like me a lot less as a regular committee member. I can guarantee you that. Win-win for me. Win-win for me. And honestly, the only reason I'm running this time is because I was on Committus Interruptus last time, where we got screwed over. The 2020 Platform Committee report never got heard. So I didn't get to complete my term as Platform Committee chair last time. If I had done 2 complete consecutive terms as Platform Committee chair, I would not have ran this time. But I feel unfulfilled. You know when you have that encounter and you just leave it a bit unfulfilled. You didn't consummate the relationship. That's what I feel like. I didn't consummate that platform relationship. And I want the consummation. I want some satisfaction here. I don't want to have to take a cold shower. So that's the only, I do make everything dirty, don't I? So that's why I'm running again for platform committee chair. Wouldn't have if we actually got to present our report in 2022. And Mike is running for committee secretary. So yep. Oh no. In about a week, I guess, who did what. And I'm reconciled to whatever. But I honestly think that it would send a really good message to the party. And I did say this in my pitch, just like I did to the LNC. They ignored it. I really do think it would send a good message to the party if I were elected platform committee chair, that it would show there is a group of people that is willing to do what the LNC wasn't willing to do. And I think it would be a very calming influence in Reno, that if I had some official role in the convention, because a lot of people feel like I was robbed, because I was. And I think this platform committee could be a very calming influence by electing me as platform committee chair. They don't have to make that persuasive. And if I wasn't otherwise qualified, that wouldn't be persuasive. But when you can get that bonus benefit from an otherwise qualified person, I think you should go for it, particularly since I'm really scared of this convention. I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm scared for the future of this party. And I do think me getting stage time, being a platform committee chair, I think most of the proposals will go through because the supporters that are there for me are going to be inclined to vote for what I ask them to vote for. So tactically, it's in the best interest of the platform committee to elect a popular martyr to be the platform committee chair if they want their proposals to go through. Because you want to know something the delegates also know? If I don't believe in the plank, I don't chair that portion. I turn it over. I don't present it at the floor. If you guys remember in 2018, I had Andy Craig present one of the planks because I didn't feel that I could argue for it honestly and persuasively because I didn't believe in the plank. So I had somebody else present it. The delegates know I'll do that. They know my integrity. So anything that I get up there and advocate for, they know I'm putting my stamp of approval on it. And my supporters will appreciate that. That's a benefit to this platform committee that they're not going to get from another chair, because I've earned through a lot of pain that privilege to have that kind of recognition. But we'll see. Again, if not, I'll have fun debating. I've got a lot of proposals of my own I'd like to bring forward that I would not bring forward as chair, because I don't bring forward proposals as chair. I don't think I think the chair needs to remain neutral. I rarely do. I had brought a couple in the past. I don't think I would bring any at all this time. So if not, I've got some proposals to bring. All right. I think we're good then. I don't know who Chartier is. I'm not sure who you guys are talking about. So I love when you have conversations without me. And to address the conversations, and I like that they're all on the screen so that the listeners can watch and see what I'm interacting with. If Wayne didn't have such an established real estate business here in Colorado, I would be advocating for us to move to New Hampshire. I really would be. But we're here in Colorado. He's got 30 years built into a business. You know, we're both getting much older. It's not anything he's going to restart in another state. So unless we win lotto or something, we're not going anywhere. But let me tell you, if I got lucky and like won lotto and like became, or like got some inheritance, you know what I'm saying? We'd move. Wayne doesn't know that yet, but we'd move, because I'd want to move. If working wasn't an issue for both of us, and the type of job I have, it's not really an issue. I can work anywhere. I could work in New Hampshire. Then I would want to move. But his career is here and his family is here. So we're staying put. We're staying put. I understand people need houses in New Hampshire, but most people who say things like that don't understand what it's like to build up a 30-year business. He has a book of business, and we're just, I would never ask him to start over. Just wouldn't. Too bad you guys didn't catch me before not that I regret meeting Wayne by any stretch of the imagination, but there was a period of time before, when I got divorced. My ex-husband is a police officer, by the way. So you guys could tell I really underwent a change. So there was that period of time when I got divorced and before I met Wayne, where I was looking to move out of Florida. And the only requirement was it had to have mountains, and New Hampshire has mountains. If only you guys had caught me then, I'd have been in New Hampshire. But I met Wayne. I'm like, Colorado has mountains. And off I went to Colorado. A lot of people don't know I'm from Florida originally. I lived in Boynton Beach, and my ex-husband is a Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office patrol deputy, or whatever they call them now. And I did not want to live in Florida where he was a police officer. And I wanted to get out of Florida for multiple reasons. I'd lived there my whole life. I don't really like the beach. I don't like flat land. I like mountains and things like that. So yeah, I was very eager to get out of Florida. Yeah, the LP Mises Caucus are GOP plants. Now you're saying even dumber things. I didn't think you could say dumber things. So you're a little overachiever, aren't you? He says, what did he say? I want to read it to you guys because he's on Facebook. So you can see the comments here on the screen. Never mind. I don't need to read you the dumb comments. You can see them for yourself. Yeah, I don't care for the beach, but I might like the beach if I had the option to go to the mountains too, kind of like New Hampshire. Listen, Dennis, you do not need to sell me on New Hampshire. I'm already sold. But my primary loyalty is to my husband, as it should be. But now I'm kind of like upset that I was not in Florida anymore, because Florida's turned out to be pretty damn cool. I hated it when I was there. And now that I'm here, I'm like, Florida is pretty damn cool. Nothing could entice me to move to California. Sorry. Nothing in the world can entice me to move to California. Oh. All righty, guys. I guess I'm going to get going, start working on my schedule. And I actually have an email I need to write to Nolan, the chair of New Hampshire, about convention preparation. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate any support that you can give me. The GoFundMe is on all of my pages. In the low bar, there's a tiny URL for it as well. There's also my Amazon wish list. There's also links for crypto, if that's what you prefer. I hope you all have an awesome night. And yes, Mike and I are recording the Cult of R-O-N-R tomorrow. So we will see you. And just to wrap up in a nice, neat bow what we were talking about tonight, to answer the question, who should be messaging? The party? Candidates? The answer is both. But who is in charge of messaging? The party is, not the candidates. This is not a candidate-run party. We do not worship candidates as little mini gods. They are not deities. Sorry, Senator Epstein. They are no better than you. They are no better than you. Candidates are on the same level. And I don't like this cult of the candidate that some people are promoting in this party. So, Tara DeSisto, hush your mouth. You were not elected by the delegates. I know that burns your biscuits, but you weren't. You do not speak for this party. And the LNC, who actually does have authority to speak for the party, unfortunately, whether I like it or not, they did not give you that marching order, because they know they would be skewered if they did. And if the chair gave it to you in secret, I would love to know that. And so would the rest of the LNC. All right, y'all. A new episode of the Unlibertarian Activities Committee is coming, by the way. I ordered some more props. So, comrades, I hope you are looking forward to that. Bye-bye.